Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanajanshaka Chakshurunmridam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCONBURLA official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss nectar of instructions. Vāca vegam manasa kruta vegam juha vegam udarapasta vegam etan vegandra visayata dhira sarvam api patibhyang sasityat. That means a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger and the urges of the tongue, belly and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Patibhyang sasityat. Patibhyang sasityat. Prabhupada says, quoting from 6.1, 9 to 10, Parikshit Maharaj placed a number of intelligent questions before Sukadeva Goswami. One of these questions was, why do people undergo atonement if they cannot control their senses? For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for his stealing, and he may actually even see the thief arrested by the police, yet he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. One who is less intelligent gathers experience by seeing, and one who is more intelligent gathers experience by hearing. When an intelligent person hears from the law, books and shastras or scriptures that stealing is not good, and hears that a thief is punished when arrested, he refrains from theft. A less intelligent person may first have to be arrested and punished for stealing to learn to stop stealing. However, a foolish man may have the experience of both hearing and seeing, and may even be punished, but still he continues to steal. Even if such a person atones and is punished by the government, he will again commit theft as soon as he comes out of jail. If punishment in jail is considered atonement, what is the benefit of such atonement? Thus, Parikshit Maharaj inquired this question. So, in answer, Kunjara Saujavat means the elephant may take a very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes onto the bank, it throws dirt all over its body. So this is Kunjara Saujavat. So, Sukadeva Goswami equally intelligent as befitting the spiritual master of Maharaj Parikshit, answered the king and confirmed that his statement concerning atonement was correct. A sinful activity cannot be counteracted by a pious activity. Thus, real prayasita atonement is the awakening of a dormant Krishna consciousness. Real atonement involves coming to real knowledge, and for this there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated hygienic process, he doesn't fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principles to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. One can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity and celibacy, brahmacharya, by controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, by giving up one's possessions in charity, by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, and by practicing yoga sannyas and yoga asanas. However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a pure devotee, he can easily surpass all the practices for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga process, simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, refraining from illicit sex, meditating, intoxication and gambling, and by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master. This easy process is being recommended by Srila Prabhu. First, one must control his speaking power. Every one of us has the power of speech. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. In fact, Srimad Bhagavatam begins with this point, because people do not do what they ought to do. Satavyadini Rajendra Nunang Santi Sahasrasa. Thousands of topics are there, hear, speak, etc. But very few people are interested in Atma Tattva. If you do not speak about Krishna consciousness, you speak about all sorts of nonsense. A toad in a field speaks by croaking, and similarly, everyone who has a tongue wants to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. The croaking of the toad, however, simply invites the snake, please come here and eat me. Nevertheless, although it is inviting death, the toad goes on croaking. The talking of many materialistic men and impersonalist Mayavadi philosophy, philosophers may be compared to the croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch them. Controlling speech, however, doesn't mean self-imposed silence and the external process of mauna. As Mayavadi philosophers think, silence may appear helpful for some time, but ultimately it proves a failure. The meaning of controlled speech conveyed by Srila Goswami advocates the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging the speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of death. This is the significance of controlling the urge to speak, Bhakti Vegam. The restlessness or fickleness of the mind, Manovega, is controlled when one can fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai andhakar, jahan Krishna tahan nahi maya radhikar. Krishna is just like the sun and Maya is just like darkness. If the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Similarly, if Krishna is present in the mind, there is no possibility of the minds being agitated by Maya's influence. The yogic process of negating all material thoughts will not help. To try to create a vacuum in the mind is artificial. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one always think of Krishna and how to serve Krishna best, one's mind will naturally be controlled. Similarly, Krodha, Krodha can be, our anger can be controlled. We cannot stop anger altogether. But if we simply become angry with those who blaspheme the Lord or the devotees of the Lord, we control our anger in Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry with the miscreant brothers Jagay and Madhai, who blasphemed and struck Nityananda Prabhu. In his Sikkha Ashtakam, Lord Chaitanya wrote, Trinada Vishunichana Tarorat Pisaishna. One should be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the tree. One may then ask why the Lord exhibited his anger. The point is that one should be ready to tolerate all the insults to one's own self, but when Krishna or his pure devotee is blasphemed, a genuine devotee becomes angry and acts like fire against the offender. Krodha or anger cannot be stopped, but it can be applied rightly. It was in anger that Hanuman set fire to Lanka, but he is worshipped as the greatest devotee of the Lord Krishna, Lord Ramchandra. This means that he utilized his anger in the right way. Arjuna serves another example. He was not willing to fight, but Krishna incited his anger. He must fight. To fight without anger is not possible. Anger is controlled, however, when utilized in the service of the Lord. As for the urges of the tongue, we all experience that tongue wants to eat palatable dishes. Tongue is a two-in-one in sense. It is both sense, working sense, and also knowledge gathering sense. So, in working sense, we are talking, that is Vasavegam, and gathering is sense that rasa or mellow, that is tongue. By through tongue, we can understand, we can release the mellows of taste. But how can we control it? By taking prasadam. Similarly, genitals, sex, Impulse can be controlled when not used unnecessarily. The generator should be used to beget a Krishna conscious children, otherwise they should not be used. In this way, in his Anubhriti explanation of Upada Samata, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that our material identification creates three kinds of urges: the urge to speak, the urge of demands of the mind, and the demands of the body. When a living entity falls victim to these three types of urges, his life becomes inauspicious. So, in this way, you see that Srimad Bhagavatam also there are various references how to control these things, like Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, fifth chapter, Narad Muni says to Vyasadeva. The conclusion is that only when we talk about devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can we refrain from useless nonsensical talks. We should always endeavor to use our speaking power solely for the purpose of realizing Krishna consciousness. In this way, all these how we can control these senses. There is several points also, but I will say, in short, will say that if you can utilize these senses in the service of the Lord, these senses will be controlled. So thank you very much for for listening to our lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel, and build blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.